Welcome to Syntasa. In this video, we are going to cover the Syntasa bot and anomaly detection solution. We will start from the dashboard and work our way backward to see how the data is constructed. Here we are looking at the bot and anomaly dashboard. In our dashboard capability, we've created some visualizations based on the data sets we built in the Syntasa application. Here on the top of the dashboard are several high-level metrics, some KPIs, that tell the user key attributes about that data. Built into the central portion of the dashboard, there are multiple questions that we're trying to help the user answer. The first one is whether any anomalous activity is happening on a day-to-day basis based on a specific metric. It compares it against a 15-day rolling average, which is this gold line, and then it builds a 90% confidence upper and lower band, which are these gray lines, against the 15-day rolling average. Then you see this blue line, that's the activity. Anytime an activity is outside of that 90% threshold, that is considered an anomalous activity, and alerts can be set to tell users that there's some activity to look at. A couple of other questions that we're trying to answer here is whether any of the collected IDs are possible bots, and if so, flag them. We have a formula that analyzes those IDs that resemble what possible bots do on a website. This data set does not have bot activity pinned to a user ID definitively, so we need to come up with a formula. We've come up with a formula that mimics what bot behavior would look like and allow that to fill in that filter. You can see in this date range we have 141 possible bots. We have also helped to understand what the user segments are doing. So, within this section here, you can see there's a user segments diagram. Behind the scenes, we have a clustering model that segments the users based on volume and type of activity, ranging from bounce to high engagement. We also have another model, fraudulent activity, whose results we are bringing into here and tying together with all the other data. This is looking at whether an ID is exhibiting potentially fraudulent behavior. These can also be flagged and filtered by each one of these categories so you can understand what the user base looks like for each of the segments. Another question is whether any of these individuals come from a suspect country. These are flagged so an analyst can easily filter by such and analyze the data. The last portion of the dashboard is a detailed table shown below. This data is set down to the ID level to see all the activity associated with that single ID. This makes it easy to understand the different user behaviors when you're filtering. Now let's move from the dashboard and walk backward to look at how the data is created in the Syntasa application. Here in the Syntasa platform, we can see by the app cards the different applications that have been built. Let's look at this one named Metomo Processing. To create this, we processed Metomo data, which was formerly called PWIC. This is one of the federal behavioral web analytics collection tools of choice. The Syntasa application has built-in, no-code processes to be able to bring that data in. You can see an API connection and a no-code process. The Metomo API connection is defined elsewhere on the connections definition screen. Within the Metomo loader no-code process, you can specify your site and indicate if there's a field to be flattened. One thing to note about this data is that it comes in at the session level. This flattening helps to get it down to the hit level, so we can dig into the data with little or no advanced coding necessary. We can also specify the schema and how the table is partitioned. At the top of the screen, jobs can be defined. Syntasa jobs can be scheduled, or the user can trigger the jobs. The Syntasa application will perform all the data processing and write the data to your specified storage location. Once that data is in storage, you can either analyze the data using your favorite tools, such as a Jupyter notebook or a Syntasa notebook, or you could even utilize other tools like Tableau to connect to that data. The data is in a non-proprietary format. In most cases, we write it as Parquet files to your storage. You can also look at various attributes of the data within the Syntasa application. Here you can view a preview of the table. Review the state and metrics of the data, what days have been processed, and how much data has been processed. Here we also have a transform process that enables you to join the data with other data sets. So, for example, you may need to enrich the data with some user information or user metadata, or maybe you'll want to be able to apply some different functions. You can apply any Apache Hive functions, such as upper to uppercase your data or lower to lowercase your data. There are many other possibilities to transform the data, including writing a case statement to categorize it. It is also possible to apply filters to this data if you want to be able to filter it by certain fields. So, after all this data is processed and written to storage, we can now apply the solution's logic to the data. Exiting the Matomo processing app, we will now review the bot and anomaly detection app. When opening this app, you can see that by default we are in the production section of the app. You can see multiple sections or workflows on the left-hand side navigation. You can expand the navigation bar to see the full descriptions of each area. We have a development workflow where users can test and experiment. Then we have a production workflow where the code cannot be changed unless it is specifically deployed. Within the production workflow, you can automate your jobs so you can have a job scheduled to execute daily, monthly, or triggered by other applications. We even have streaming capabilities for applications that need to execute continuously. Now within this code process, we have our bot detection code written. It is customizable to fit your solution's requirements, needs, and use cases. We also have our anomaly detection code running in this code process. Again, after these processes run, you can see the resulting data and see a preview of the data along with the state and metrics. The resulting data from these two processes are the data driving the dashboard we reviewed. Not only can you use the dashboard to do investigations within the data, but that data is also available down to the user ID level for data scientists and analysts using notebooks or other types of querying tools to be able to do further investigation on that data. That is a quick overview of the Syntasa bot and anomaly detection solution. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, and we will provide you with more detail on this and discuss how we can further utilize this for your use case. Thank you.